The requirements of the Lord given to us within verse 8 of the chapter are incomplete and are prone to be misapplied and misunderstood.
Yeah.
Now, to give God our best, God requires a changed heart,
Right.
a change of lifestyle,
Yeah.
and of disposition towards both God and neighbor. To give God our best, God requires us to be faithful stewards of the resources we are entrusted with, including our money, our possessions, and the earth in which we live.
Amen.
God wants our hearts, our lives, and despite the good deeds we might do or the evangelist efforts we may partake in, any offering that falls short of this is insufficient.
All right.
This is what Micah tried to convey to the masses in chapter 6, verse 8. Micah groups the essence of Amos, Hosea, and Isaiah through connecting the proper atonement for human sin, authentic worship, and the covenantal requirements of God. Amos professed that God desires justice rather than sacrifices. Hosea depicts what it means to love compassionately and with mercy. Isaiah stresses faithfulness and obedience to God, which leads to the social activism that acquires liberation as well as justice for the oppressed in what is deemed true worship. Furthermore, the verses following verses 8 are words of indictment spoken by Micah on behalf of the Lord to the people of Israel because of their unfaithfulness and inability to live out chapter 6, verse 8. These are words of conviction. God sent Micah to deliver God's people, the Israelites. These words were spoken through Micah first as a caution to the people, imploring them to turn away from their sins and then return to the Lord. However, the words of the prophet ultimately went unheard, and thus proved to give voice to the Lord's burning anger towards Israel because of their sinful ways. This is critical for the church today because we have seemingly forgotten we are too heirs to the covenantal promise of God.
That's right.
We too have a responsibility to remember deliverance from slavery which God granted us. Living in remembrance of this mandates our covenantal faithfulness and dependability on God.
Yeah.
However, within the church are just as stiff-necked as the Israelites.
Yes, we are.
We're willing to give God everything but our hearts,
Amen.
our lives completely.
Help us, Lord.
Yet this is exactly what God desires of us.
Yeah.
In my closing, most believers today accept societal injustice because we do not feel convicted when we see or learn about them. We act apathetically because we know how radically our lives would look if we were to intentionally step out of our comfort zone
Amen.
into the faithfulness in which Scripture calls us. Within this society that is predicated upon comfort and the avoidance of suffering at all costs, we must cultivate a counter-cultural disciple that's willing and able to bear crosses. Individuals who intentionally choose discomfort and suffering for the sake of the kingdom over worldly satisfaction. This is the basis of Micah 6. The prophet was imploring the Israelites to understand that believers have to be willing to live lives